He goes for 727.7.
Well, that's why the skipper has put himself out at long on. Those bucket hands of his. He wants to put himself right in the firing line. That's where he was for Whiteley. Ed Bernard now. Batsmen have crossed.
You've seen anything from what we've seen so far, and pitch has got better.
Do you mean the dew that's fallen to change things? You wouldn't say that it's changed. It's still gripping and turning.
Absolutely, and that was the bet. Both captains would have had at the toss. Nothing to say as yet. Yeah, Moeen Ali was talking about a game where they chased 180 on just a month ago. A pitch that turned, they said it just got better and better in the last innings. It's good running. Not sure this is that certain.
Two overs left, 130 for 7. Just remember that the Rapids defended 147 in the first semi-final. They looked for all money as though they were gone against the Outlaws, but they held their nerve. Pat Brown bowled a brilliant 19th over. And they defended 147, so they're 130 with 2 overs left. Can they get up to around about that same mark? Aaron Nijaz had an interesting day, pretty inexperienced, but he's done well. His first 4 balls went for 14 in first semi-final, but he held his nerve after that, bowled nicely, took wickets. He's none for 20. Six off 3, bowling a key over here, the 19th over. So it's a good test of this young man's nerve. Nicely weighted shot, back for the second. the over. 1-2-1 dot. Something's going to give.
Well, I can't see in the last innings when Essex come to bat, can't see it being that easy. 150 is a good score.
Well, they've got 6 balls left to get up to that 150 mark, 135 for 7. So Worcestershire's attack, I mean, reasonably well placed to exploit the conditions with Moeen Ali and D'Oliveira.
How much of a bonus it was as well. How Moeen Ali uses himself. Harmer actually didn't bowl himself in the power play. He said the middle overs, that's when I'm going to come in and do my stuff. Moeen Ali bowls in the power play. He's got to use himself as an attacking threat all the time. You're right, Pat Brown, Daryl Mitchell. If you get wickets early, Daryl Mitchell becomes a threat. If you don't, Daryl Mitchell can go.
Ravi Bopara will bowl the last over for the Eagles. Good example of just how difficult it is. Really difficult when the bowlers take pace off it. Short third man, no pace to work with. Batsman just checking whether they've crossed. He'll have to go. There's a bit of a confusion out there, but he'll have to go, and Bopara strikes.
Now just watch Tom Wesley's reaction here. At times you can get the simplest catch, and just as it comes to you, you lose it in the lights. It can be a real nightmare. It's always the easiest of catches. And you just, at some point here, he just loses it. Really completely misjudges it. Ed Barnard can be a dangerous player with the bat, not tonight. Goes for 5, 136 for 8.
Yeah, look, a relief on Wesley's face there. Umpires just checking to see whether the batsman crossed. Can't have crossed, I don't think, and I think the message has gone from the third umpire to the on-field umpires that the batsman didn't cross. D'Oliveira wanted to be on strike, tried to sneak on strike, but it's not to be. Pat Brown will have to take the third ball of this final over. It's been a good one so far, with just a single from it and the wicket. Wide, it was a slower ball, beat Pat Brown and beat Wheater as well.
Tell you what, how costly could that be? I reckon in the first semi-final there was buys at the last over, and that ended up, could have been the difference. There's so many things you can look back on. So when runs are at a premium, 4 buys.
Short of Harmer. D'Oliveira won't come back for the second because he wants to strike. He's got 2 balls left. The record's 141 for 8. I'd love a grandstand finish here. 6 and a 4 will take them to the 150 mark.
Talking about momentum, you're a big believer in that, aren't you?
I am not. Helt over, short fine leg. That's one boundary, one of the 2 they're looking for. 145 for 8.
Why did you put pace on it, Bopara? The slower balls were working. You just gave him just a bit to work with. That's all he needed. When the slower ball's out the back of the hand, that wasn't carrying. A little bit of pace does the job for D'Oliveira.
Slow ball to finish. D'Oliveira swings it away, but only as far as deep mid-wicket. So the Rapids are finished. 145 for 8 is the score. They defended 147 in the first.
The captain, when he won the toss and said, we will have a bowl, we think it's going to skid on, that'll be the best time to bat. Well, we will soon find out if he is right. If it stays the same, that's a good score. And Worcestershire, well, they know how to win this competition. Essex do not.
Well, it was a slow ball to finish, unsurprisingly. The penultimate ball was a bit quicker, and D'Oliveira helped it away fine, but he had to put all the pace on himself for that final ball. But Dan Lawrence was out at deep mid-wicket, took a safe catch. The out cricket has been safe and sure throughout. And a bitty card, really. 31 from Vessels until he was run out. A sweet 32 from Moeen Ali, who looks in great touch. Contributions from Parnell, from Mitchell and D'Oliveira towards the end. 145 for 9 off 20 the score.
And Dan Lawrence started off proceedings. 4 overs, 2 for 26. No more than part-time off spin. It was about Simon Harmer. Look at that. There's a real shootout between him and Moeen Ali. Simon Harmer, the captain. 4 overs, 3 for 16. Moeen Ali, over to you.
So after a long season of the Blast, we've come down to the final 20 overs of the competition to find our winner. Whether it'll be the Rapids or the Eagles, that's the equation. The Eagles need 146 runs to win this year's competition. Okay, Nick Knight is out in the middle. Let's go join him.
Thanks ever so much, Jeff. Yeah, let's talk about conditions. So we're out in the middle with treads. We better be a bit careful because the grounds were just sweeping up behind. But have conditions changed?
No, I don't think they have. There's no due here at all. It's not, and sort of be 16, 17 degrees throughout the evening. So I'm really surprised to come out here and put my hand on the floor and not feel any dew or any moisture at the moment. So you can still see the ball turning throughout the whole 20 overs.
Okay, with that. In mind, where's the balance of power then in this game right now? What do they got on the ball? 145, so 146. To win.
Yeah, I think it's a real game on. I think you will see the pressure of the final coming into it. If I was Worcester, I'd be thinking I would love another 10 runs. I think 155 would probably be a winning score. If they get off to a good start, Essex, then I think it'll be very hard for the Worcestershire bowlers to sort of limit what they do. Just thinking in mind, they only really have Moeen Ali, Brett D'Oliveira, who's not a bowler who's going to always bowl his 4 overs. So, they don't quite have the...
You were a very fine player of spin. How good was Simon Harmer?
Well, we've seen him and we've talked about him a lot today. And he's been impressive, hasn't he? That sort of spin, that pace that he bowls, the bounce that he gets, makes it really tricky. And in particular, when the ball is spinning away from you, as we know. On pitches that spin, but more importantly, when they bounce like he has, and he gets that drop and that bounce, that's what makes him so tricky. And it's really...
a bit of a laugh on commentary that you would play it from the other end, but I'm going to ask you again, and now we're out in the middle. How would you play it? I mean, clearly from the pictures here, it's not easy, but how would you go about it?
Well, I think it's different when you're in the first few overs. At the power play times, in particular, I think you can be a little bit more aggressive. As a left-hander, yes, it's going to be tricky. I did two fielders out, you can still be aggressive. There's going to be areas where you can take a gamble and either come down the wicket and hit him offside over extra cover mid-off, or sweep him leg side.
If our camera just moves slightly to your right, you might see that Moen's out here. He's having a chat with the groundsman. So you can see really they're just trying to prepare themselves really for what might be coming, how he might prepare himself to bowl on this sort of surface. We know he's going to bowl. When would you bowl him? Would you start with him, or would you just hold it back a little bit?
I think because they only have Moen as their real strike option, I think he will bowl in the power play. I don't think he'll bowl the first one. But I think they'll get him in sooner rather than later, and then try and through the middle period really sort of get the screws on with him in that sort of time then.
How did Cameron Delpaul go about it? And runs in the semi-final, the first one where he got 50 odd. He's been in pretty good form. Yeah. Does he just say, right, I'm going to get you ahead of the rate from the start?
Yeah, I think his job is to go out there and be aggressive, come out with that real intent. You know, we don't know how the new ball's going to react to the seamers, whether they take pace off, what it will quite do. But I think he's just got to try and get ahead of the game, like he has done in the first game. You know, he was very aggressive, 50 from, 35 deliveries, and just try and put the team in a good position. If he comes off, then he could break the back of this score very, very quickly.
Who's going to win this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nipper. Yeah. It's going to be a real close one. We get down to crunch time. At 145, as I said to you, I think they probably want another 10, so I'm probably going to go with Essex.
And when you look at it, I mean, clearly they're defending champions. They've won tie games. They won this game here last year. But then when you look at Essex, they won their last 3 group games. They obviously won their quarter-final. They won their semi-final. So with that in mind, I think they're unbeaten in their last 6 games. Yeah. So this could
find a way. They found a way to keep getting through, and almost it's been purpose-built almost for this pitch. You know, the spin options they got. It's a final. It's under lights. It's the big part of the season. Can you go out and knock off 145? That is the real challenge, isn't it? Can you hold your nerve when it really, really counts?
Again, if our camera just moves over, we can see there were all the guys out here. There's a lot of noise. There's a great, great atmosphere. It'd be wonderful to get back out here and play, but they are just preparing themselves now. They realise the importance of it. Pat Brown himself has bowled through 3 or 4 deliveries because he realises that at some point he's going to be back under pressure.
Absolutely, and he stood up to it brilliantly over the course of last season and this season also. So he's going to play a pivotal part, as he did in the first semi-final for them. Yeah, that 19th over that he bowled was crucial, getting them to that target towards the end.
Okay, we're just about done here because the players will be wandering out. So great tension then out here in the middle. Essex will be chasing 146 to try and win this competition for the very first time. Don't go anywhere. This could be a real nipper.
Run chase. The conditions were back. Therefore, Worcestershire Rapids 145 for 9. It might not seem like a lot of runs to defend, but given the way...
Nothing so far.
Oh, Moeen Ali will start the proceedings. Off spin has been the daddy. Moeen Ali has been outstanding as batsman, bowler and captain in the blast. He will play a huge part as to whether or not Worcestershire can defend this title. Tom Westley will face up to the first delivery. And Essex will be looking for a flying start in the power play while the ball is hard. .55 from 31 in the semi-final against Derby, so he knows the conditions. He's played them well already.
Nice, brother.
One's gone dead on, and a proper old-fashioned block.
Didn't spin though, did it?
It didn't.
Is it the new ball or what? I don't know. This one's going to rag you. Watch now.
Q-end from Delport, who looks for the aggressive option. It did turn, it did hold.
Sometimes makes it worse when you know
You need to
you're
start him
expecting it
up.
to spin. It doesn't. Just gets in your mind.
Well, one thing's for sure, it's not what you don't want to happen is what happened to Worcestershire, where Harmer gets a grip on the innings. Dan Lawrence gets a grip on the innings, taking wickets. Worcestershire don't have as many options in terms of spin as Essex had.
Yeah, I think you're right. Will we see
Let me start this
Moeen
now.
Ali bowl any more open? In the power play, I think it will probably depend on how well they're going. If they get off to the fly, then he might. Will have to.
Get it.
Every delivery so far has just skidded.
Well,
As Jay Malik steps out for this, his first test, and he's at the crease. He's lining up. And that's a piece of a delivery. He smashed it! And the crowd are going crazy. Jay
Just give it a rest, will you?
And now I think it might be a good time to take a tea break. Send money with Remitly today and get a rate that beats the market rate on your first transfer. How's that?
Charlie Morris took a bit of stick. In the first semi-final, but ended up on the winning side. Start things off from the Birmingham end.
rehearsals, really only the two batsmen getting to grips with it. Essex Eagles have a job to do. They've got the batting in the middle order, as we're talking about, with the experience coming in. Abby Bapar and Dan Lawrence. Pat Brown having another go. Probably bowl this one in the power play and then save his last two for the latter part of the innings.
That we thought they could have done. Brown liked it. Alex Wharf not interested. Leg side. You fancy?
Well, he continues to impress, this young man. Nobody seems to be able to pick up this slow ball that he bowls, the knuckleball in particular. Seems to have a bowling at the death in the key times. Found a method.
Just got a bit of the pad of wheat. As it went down the leg side, I think that one was the knuckleball. Look at that LBW shout, way down the leg side. If the ricochets count, it's out.
Would have been an awful decision. Instead, it was a good one, but Pat Brown continues to impress.
Brilliant, completely bamboozled. Wheater had no idea where that ball had gone.
Well, this just shows you the talent of this up in the T20 leagues anywhere around the world just yet. Only had his time playing in the Blast. I'm sure we'll see more of him in different competitions. A lot of people will be after him in the 100 ball, I'm sure.
Perfectly weighted. Rita scampers back for the second. The crowd are excited, but for no good reason. Excellent over. From Brown, is that over? Brown has handed his, taken his cap from Alex Wharf and started to
over Wharfie.
That's one way of driving the rate up. 5 ball overs. Another tidy over. The rate just climbs a little. 24. Astronauts, Ninja Turtles, they're all here. Even had a little visit from Brucey. Having a high old time in the Holly stand. It's been a brilliant atmosphere here today. It's a real buzz around the ground, sort of expectancy. Nobody knows where this trophy's going.
Mr. Motivator was
Lovely,
epic.
lads!
See him. Thought he might have got 2 or 3 of us sort of joining in. Lucky to get away with that one, I think.
Very, very fortunate. Doesn't seem to have got any older. Looked exactly the same in the 80s in his pomp. I reckon it was still the same leotard as well.
Surely there's room to get Rob Key next to him next time. Must.
Excellent work. There in the deep. Ted Barnard down there. He'll have a job to do with the ball when he comes. Around the halfway point of the innings.
There must be... Someone must have exhausted every form of fancy dress. How do you go about picking something a unique...
What a shot. Tom Wesley peels off a beauty.
Yeah, this is smashed through the extra cover. You normally expect Wesley scoring leg side again. His pace on from Charlie Morris, but smashed away. Kind of expected it. Now you can see just in the pod, just expecting it just a